Welcome students. So in today's lecture we shall be starting with our new topic of journal. So this comes under the topic of recording of accounting transactions. So this is a quite an important topic from the examination point of view. So let us start it. So what is a journal? It is also known as the basic book of original entry, also known as basic book of original entry. In this book, transactions are recorded as and when they take place. So the basic fundamental of recording the transaction is this, that they are recorded, the transactions are recorded as and when they take place. So the time of transaction is recorded as it is. The transactions from this books are posted into the ledger. So the transaction from journal, they are posted to the ledger. The journal provides a chronological record of all the transactions with details of the accounts debited and credited and the amount of each transaction. So what are the features? The number one is, it is a chronological record as per the date and time of all transactions. Second, there are the details of accounts which are either debited or credited, and the amount of each transaction is also mentioned. Number 3, that is the amount of each transaction is also listed. So the format of the journal can be made as follows. So students, this is only simply a model of or the format of the journal I am drawing here. So there are total 5 columns in this. So total of 5 columns are to be made. The first one is the date on which the transaction is occurring. Then comes the particulars. These are the description or the details regarding that particular transaction. The account which is to be debited is written or credited is to be written here. So this is just a narration, a brief description about the transaction being occurring. Then comes the Aleph, that is the ledger folio, then the debit entries and the credit entries. So remember students, for every debit there is a credit and for every credit there is a debit also. Now let us see what are to be written in the columns. In the first column, the date of the transaction is entered. The year and month is also written in this column. So a complete date in the format of date, month and year is written over here. Then comes the particulars. A brief explanation of the transaction known as narration is given in the particulars column. It is necessary to write the narration below each transaction. So after the narration, a horizontal line is drawn to separate one entry from another. So a horizontal line is drawn to separate the entries. Then comes the third column, that is the LF. This is the page number of the ledger is given when the transaction is posted to the ledger. So this is the page number of ledger when the transaction is posted to a ledger. Till that time this column remains blank. The fourth column is regarding the debits of the accounts is written. The word DR is written in front of the debit entry. So always remember that word DR is to be written, and for credit the word CR is to be written over there. So it is necessary to make a total of amount entered in debit and credit columns. The total will be carried forward to the next page and so on up to the last page. The last page gives the final total. So ultimately a total is to be made, and in this the debit entries must be equal to the credit entries. Then only our journal is finalized. So what are the various rules of journalizing? In a double entry bookkeeping system, two accounts are affected during accounting. So students, always remember that two accounts will be affected. How? For every debit there is a credit, and for every credit there is a debit. So one account is debited and other has to be credited then. The following are some of the simple rules that are going to be highlighting now. The number one is for the personal accounts. Now what are the personal accounts and how are they debited or credited? So in this case, the receiver of the cash entries is always debited, whereas the giver of the transaction or the money is always credited. For example, we have to pay rupees 500 in cash to say a person A, or we can simply write an example that pay rupees 500 to Ram. So in this case the transaction will be recorded as the account of Ram will be debited with 500, whereas the cash account from which the entry is done, it will be credited with rupees 500. So this is generally credited. So this is the cash paid to Ram. So if the cash is received, for example, we are saying that rupees 500 is received from Sham, then our cash account will be debited because it is received in our cash account. It is debited for rupees 500, whereas the Mohan's account will be credited with rupees 500. So similarly, the real accounts, the debit what comes in and the credit what goes out. For the real accounts, we can say, for the real accounts, what comes in is a debit and what goes out is credit. For example, we can say that we had purchased furniture for rupees 2000. Let us for example say furniture is purchased for rupees 2000, then the furniture account will be debited as the furniture is received for rupees 2000, whereas it is paid in cash, so the cash account will be credited with rupees 2000. So similarly, another entry is there, another type of account known as nominal accounts. For the nominal accounts, the expenses are always debited because they are incurred by the owner, they are always debited, whereas incomes, they are always credited. So for example, let us see the case of the salaries in this. We can say that rupees 5000 is given for salary to the employees. So the salary account will be debited because it is an expense. Remember, it is an expense. But the cash account will be credited because the money will be transferred to the cash account. So, because the salary is paid in cash. So, the fourth type of account is the goods account. The goods mean all those items which any business buy it in order to gain the profit on its sales. The goods account is divided into 4 categories for the purpose of making entries into the journal. So, the goods account is generally divided into 4 categories. The first one is the purchase account, because these accounts are profit oriented. So, when any goods are purchased, then the debit entry is made in the purchase account and purchase account is always debited. So, these accounts are always debited as entries are made. Next is the sales account. When any goods are sold, the credit entry is made in the sales account. So, these accounts are always credited, remember this. Then comes the purchase return account. If any purchased goods are returned, then it is called the returns outward. The purchase return account is always credited. So, these accounts are always credited because these are the returns that are being done. And last is the sales return account. So, what is a sales return account? In this, if goods are sold are received back, it is called the returns inward, whereas in the purchase it was the return outward. Whereas in the sales account, this is the return inward. And such accounts are always debited. Then comes the fifth type of accounts, that are the capital accounts. So, what is a capital account? The owner of the business is always considered to be a separate entity from his business. So, the money he invests to start his business is recorded in general on credit side of his capital account and on debit side in its cash account. Capital account is for the money that is invested to start the business. So, it is always recorded on the credit side. Whereas for this particular entry, the cash account is debited because the money is coming from the cash account. So, the sixth entry is the drawings account. So, what is a drawings account? When a businessman withdraws money from his business for personal use, then the amount is debited in the drawings account and credited in the cash account. So, it is basically when the owner of the business withdraws the money for personal use. So, in this case, the drawing account is always debited, whereas the cash account in which the money is withdrawn is always credited. Next, the seventh type of account we will be studying is the trade account. So, what is a trade account? So, the trade discount means it's basically a discount we are talking about. No journal entry is done because it is deducted from the cash memo or the invoice. So, for such things, discount entries are not recorded in journal and the money is just simply debited from it. For example, we have to make an entry if the goods of worth rupees 4,000 are purchased at a trade discount of 5% for cash, we can say. Just for an example, we are saying that a goods of rupees 4,000, goods which are worth rupees 4,000 are purchased at trade discount of 5%. 5% means for rupees 200. Then for these the purchase account will be debited for rupees 3,800, whereas the cash account will be credited for rupees 3,800. Now in the description we are writing 5% trade discount. And the last one is the 8th. This is the cash discount. So how a cash discount is recorded? So it is an allowance which is made by the receiver of the cash to the payer for the payment made before the due date. So in such a case, the discount is to be recorded. Now for example, a businessman buy a goods for rupees 4,500. So first of all we must write the definition. The cash discount is an allowance which is made by the receiver of cash to the payer. So this is made by the receiver of the cash to the payer for the payment made before due date. So this is for the payment that is made before due date. So for example, we can say that Ram purchased goods for rupees 4,500 and settles his account at a cash discount of 2%, for example. So the 2% of 4,500 will be around rupees 90. So in such a case, the purchase account will be debited for rupees 4,500, whereas to the cash account, which is to be credited along with the discount, it will be written as 4410, and to the discount account. So in case of the trade accounts, it is not recorded, but in case of cash discount, it is always recorded to the discount account. Remember this. So then only the transaction will be completed out. So students, this was regarding the various types of accounts and the transaction, how they are to be recorded. So there are some special type of entries which are to be done, such as for opening the journal entry. So how a journal entry is opened up? So after closing the previous financial year, every firm starts new books of accounts for the current financial year. The entries which are made to start the new books are known as opening entries. So the opening entries, they are meant for, or they are made to start new books for current financial year. So debit opening balances of assets and credit opening balances of liabilities including the capital. So, what will be on the debit and the credit side? So, let us see. The debit side will always include the assets. So, assets will be involving the cash account, stock account, then comes the furniture accounts, because these are all the assets, personal accounts, because these are the amounts which are in possession of the owner. Whereas on the credit side, it will be including all the liabilities plus the capital account. This is also a credit entry. So, similar to this is the compound entries, we can say. Now, what are these compound entries? Now, for example, we can say that two entries are taking place on the same date. Two or more business transactions that are concerned with the same account and of the same date. So, here is a condition that transactions of same account of same date. So, how they will be recorded down? For example, let us see that on 31st of May, rupees 4,000 were paid as a salary, and on the same date rupees 800 were also paid as rent. And then the entries are made in journal will be as under. So, the salary account is a expense, so it will be debited by rupees 4,000. Whereas the rent account is also an expense and it will be also debited for rupees 800. Now, this amount of money is paid from our cash account. So, in order to balance the entry, the cash account will be credited with rupees 4,800 along. So, no separate entry is to be given because the entry hold from the single account on the same date. So, a complete entry can be given out. So, students, many examples are given in your books also, the illustration. So, try to solve them. So, these were all the aspects of a journal. So, we had studied about what is a journal, how the transactions are recorded. So, this is the format, basic format of the journal. So, what are the accounts, how the accounts will be affected, the personal accounts, real accounts, here we can say the nominal accounts, real accounts, goods accounts, then comes the capital account, trade account, drawings account, cash discount, then how the journal entries are opened up for the new books and the compound entries are recorded. So, I hope now it is all clear to you now. Practice these entries as it will be helpful to you to understand the concepts of cash book and the ledger postings.